Oh! Oh, hello.
Well, good morning. How are we doing? Welcome in. Ooh, it is Saturday. Hope everybody's weekend is going well. Hope you're doing good. Hi, Conan. Congrats on first. How are you? Did you get some sleep? Woot. Yes. Hi, Nat. How are you, sweetie? See you. And bye. Dark Horse is here. Everybody else, welcome in. Welcome in. In between questions today, I think I'm going to work on redoing the display of the question on the screen. I have a new design in mind. You've been sick all week? Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're starting to feel better. I'm rubbing the bottom of my coffee cup because it's got something on it. Set it down somewhere gross, I think. There we go. But me, I'm doing great. Yeah. I was supposed to deep clean the office and move everything around because I need to reorganize the space yesterday and had to cancel stream for that. And yeah, so that didn't happen like at all. I had put it off. I took a nap and I put it off until curb stream because I wanted to make sure I was there for that. And then I was like, all right, after curve stream's done, I'm going to do it all and then go to bed, wake up, you know. And by the time our stream was over, I was so fucking tired. I was like, you know what? If I go to bed now, I'll actually have more time to wake up and get everything done before the stream. And my insomnia decided to break last night. I ended up sleeping for like 12 hours instead of 4. So maybe tomorrow. But we're here and we're going to be answering your questions as always. So, you know, if you have any, exclamation point ask, followed by your question, get it in the queue. We'll do our best to answer you around. And get some stuff situated. But yeah, I want to work on the question when it's actually displayed on the screen. It's very not nice at the moment. I don't like it. So we're gonna go with something different. I don't know what. I have no idea what. But we'll figure it out. We'll go try some various things. So yeah. 600. Ooh, that is bright. Oh, fuck off. There we go. Oh, but yeah, other than being sick, I hope you're well, and I hope everybody else is doing well, having a good, relaxing weekend. Hopefully you don't have too much going on that you have to be overwhelmed or stressed about. I myself am not overwhelmed. I am whelmed, but not overly so.
Welcome to my schoolhouse.
Hi, Ronnie. Welcome in. Grumpy, you're better now? Thanks. How are you, my friend? Ooh. Oh my goodness gracious. It's gonna be a day, I think. Today's gonna be a day. I don't think it'll be either good or bad. Just a day. Doing good? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Here to pick my brain, that's what we're here for. Just make sure you leave me some. I got some major projects I need to get started on. You made Rice Krispie bars? Oh, Rice Crisps. The generic ones. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, though, Grump. Ugh. Right. What do you say we go over to the main screen, hey? I was just changing the coil on my vape real quick. But now that that's done, Maybe. Don't leak. All right. I just have Canva pulled up for right now because of reasons, but anyway. But yeah, go ahead, exclamation point ask, get your questions in the queue. I see we have one already. And we will get to that in just a moment. Yeah. Trying to figure out what I want to do for next week. I know I need to, my work schedule's gotten kind of screwed up, so my normal days of doing my things has been altered, and then they got changed again, and it's a nightmare, but hopefully it'll get back to normal after next week. We'll see. Yeah, just ask, and then the question to put it in the queue, Grump, and we'll get to that. But yeah, it's fairly easy. I was trying to think, because normally, like, I record and edit my tutorials on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I didn't get to this week because I had to work like fucking 10-hour days on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I got to move this fucking office around, you know what I mean? But I'm hoping we can get back on track, get back on schedule. I do have to work Monday and Tuesday again this week, but they shouldn't be 10-hour days. They should be more normal. So hopefully I can just do it when I get home. But if not, then the tutorials for next week might be delayed, and I might have to do them on like Wednesday or Thursday before my streams. I had so much shit to do. My to-do list is like as long as my arm, and it gets to the point where it's like I look at it and I'm just like, fuck this, dude. Like, you know what I mean? You get so fucking overwhelmed, you just don't want to do any of it. Like, if there's only like 2 or 3 things on the list, cool. Let's just start one of them, you know? But then you look at the list and it's got like 50 things on it, and you're just like, you know, does it really need to be done right now? But what I need to do is I need to make like a priority list, right? Like, what is the most important things? And so like my whole entire list is over here, and I don't look at it, and I can just look at this smaller list of what needs to be done like today or this week or whatever, you know, so I have a smaller list to look at. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make another list on my to-do list. Well, hopefully I get to it. Yeah, it sucks, man. It's like when you go to stream, right? You want to play a game, but you're not really in the mood for any game in particular, right? You know what I'm talking about? So it's like, I'll play something, and then you spend like an hour looking through your library, like, I don't really want to play any of these. But if you just pick one, you're gonna go and have fun, you know? Too many choices. It overwhelms your senses, I guess. But it is deliberated. Yeah, it really is. And that's why I want to make the smaller list. And I used to, like, I need to get back in the habit of that. I got out of the habit. I don't know why. But I used to be in the habit, like, I had lists everywhere, right? I'm like, my mouse pad is a notebook. You know, I have notes on my phone. I have notes on my calendar. I have notes written in dry erase marker on my mirror, you know? And I used to be in the habit of doing that. And hi, Mrs. Give that baby some kisses for me. But I would make a point of making like a long-term goal, like type list. I need to get this stuff done by like the end of the year or whatever. And then I need to pare that down to like a monthly to-do list, and then a weekly, and then a daily, you know. And so you kind of make it into bite-sized chunks, and that's what I use the mirror for. Like dry erase markers on the mirror, fucking awesome for your daily stuff. If you wake up, you go wash your face, brush your teeth, whatever, and it's right there. I need to do this shit today, you know. And then when you do something, right, you complete one of the tasks, you get to cross it off your list, delete it from your phone, go to the mirror, wipe it off of the mirror. Like, you get to delete this shit from so many places, and it's like rewarding because you're like, yeah, get this shit off of here, you know. So instead of just having one list, having the multiples, it seems a little bit more rewarding. But welcome in, guys. Yes, how, where'd it go? Things with me and Alex. Alex broke up with me before Christmas, but we're doing okay. Yeah, we don't chat as much anymore, but yeah. But she started streaming again. I stopped in a couple times. She's okay. Yeah, me too. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Hi, Breezers. Welcome in, my friend. Magic, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. And Jasper's here too. Filling out the Twitch top 5. Let's go. Let's go. It's no big deal, you know. I mean, we didn't make it a big, huge public thing, obviously. You know, it wasn't mutual, but it wasn't like ugly, you know. So. Hi. Yeah, we tried, you know, doing the talking and still doing things and all that, and you know, I got less and less, and then stopped responding to any messages and anything, so we just kind of grew apart, I guess. But it is what it is. But I'm doing great. Magic, thank you for asking. Yeah, I feel like my insomnia finally broke last night, which was the worst fucking night for it to break, honestly, with everything that I had to do. I didn't get shit done in the office, which is the entire point of canceling last night's stream, and you know, I'm glad it broke, but it could have waited till tonight or something, you know? Could have got some shit done. Wazzy, welcome in. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Hope you are well. But yeah, we have some questions building up. Let's go ahead and answer one of them at least. Doing good? Glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm doing well also. Yeah. Thanks for asking. But yeah, we're gonna work on. You'll see how ugly this thing is. I mean, I am not a graphic artist by any stretch of the imagination, and I never claimed to be. I am horrible at drawing things with a mouse. But and I mean, I have my scanner, but I just don't feel like hand drawing shit. So we're gonna make it our best. But you'll see what I mean here in a minute. This thing it's fucking ugly, you know. But we made it on the fly, and I just never went back and did anything. So in between questions today, that's what we're going to work on, is making that look a little prettier. Maybe, I don't know. So I'm not very good at it, but we'll do our best, and that's what matters. Doing our best. But let's go ahead and answer the first question here. I know we got 4? Yeah, we got 4 in the queue. So let's go ahead.
Ronnie Hansen asked, I use Speakerbot on YouTube and I not get the users from chat into Speakerbot. What is wrong?
What is wrong is that Speakerbot does not connect to YouTube. It'll only connect to Twitch. So to get around that, you would need to use StreamerBot. StreamerBot integrates with SpeakerBot, and you can actually pull the messages in through StreamerBot and then use SpeakerBot to do the TTS, right? So, for example, let me pull something up here. I'll just use this guy. No, not this one. We'll use not this one. We'll use this one. Right, because yeah, and that's because SpeakerBot does not connect in any way to YouTube, right? So what you have to do is like a workaround, and it's kind of crappy, and I don't know why SpeakerBot won't connect to YouTube. I might bring that up to Nate and find out. I'm sure there's a reason why it won't. I just don't know what that reason is, to be honest. But basically what you would have to do is you would have to use StreamerBot to collect your usernames and add them to a group using the add to group feature, right? So let's see if I can. So if we make a new one, just your message failed to send. You get this a lot on Twitch. Twitch is actually doing a lot of shit with their API right now, specifically having to do with their clips API and their calls. And to do those changes, they have to keep disconnecting their event subs. So aw. Oh, I'm glad I made it. Yeah, I've been wanting to make that one for a while. It's pretty good. But yeah, so we have the test group here, right, Ronnie? And basically, you would have to go. Well, we got YouTube, user group, and then add user to group, right? And then you just you would do user, and then whatever the group name is. Didn't set your alarm today, Ravenous. You're grounded. But you can, you make your group. So we'll make it, I don't know, whatever we named our group. I didn't obviously make the group yet, but you're not late. You arrived precisely when you were meant to. So we'll just say we just name this YouTube users for, whatever. Okay. So every time then when you add your trigger for that TTS or whatever, it'll take that username and add it to a user group. Groups are here under settings. So you can add your group like we just made user, click add. And then now, when we have this triggered, it will add those names to that group, and then you can use that group as you see fit for your TTS stuff. But again, you won't connect SpeakerBot, directly to YouTube. You would have to do all of that in StreamerBot. So that would be using the StreamerBot speak, or the SpeakerBot speak, and then you get your voice alias here, which we can use the username. I'm doing a tutorial soon on how to get everybody's voice aliases to use and then default to a default voice if one is not found. But it's a big, huge setup in SpeakerBot to make that happen. But basically, you can do like user here to get their username if their username is the same as the voice alias. and then the message here would just be raw input, right? And then your trigger to run this would be separate. These would actually be separate actions, but your trigger for this would be the YouTube chat message, and that would be the trigger. So when I get a YouTube chat message, it would do that. Get that out of here before anybody tries to use it, because it'll break. But basically, yeah, you have to use StreamerBot to pull the information of the message and the username from YouTube, and then use that to match whatever you have set up in SpeakerBot for the voice aliases and whatnot to use the correct voice. So it's like a workaround because SpeakerBot doesn't connect directly to YouTube. How do I like the new SpeakerBot so far? I'm still testing it. I mean, I enjoy it. I like all the changes. Obviously, the if-else statement tree and switch cases is my biggest like so far. The ability to not have to make a new action every time you want to use an if-else statement is great. And it's been a long time coming, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I just want it to be a little bit more stable than it is currently before I go like full time with it. It's pretty, I mean, it's still alpha, right? But it's pretty stable enough. Like if you only stream on YouTube, it should do okay because of how limited YouTube API stuff is. But I still won't run it full on Twitch all by itself, because I just have some more complex stuff that it still shuts down or errors out and stuff. So until those get fixed, probably in the beta is when I'll switch over and use it full time until stable release. But while it's still in alpha, I just like my snarky bot is using it here. This is him using it here. But he has very limited commands. He's got a couple timed messages and he controls the tits thing. So it's not very complicated, so he doesn't break down. But I have moved all of my Twitch stuff over to the alpha, and I tested it and it just crapped out real quick because of some of the commands that I use. So until those get handled, which they are, they're working on it. But like I said, probably beta will be when I do that. Thank you for the fish tank. Sorry I'm boring you. Oh yeah, I guess it would help if I had airflow. Yeah. But yeah, Ronnie, that's basically what you're gonna have to do is create your own group and get those names in that group, and then use that group as the names in your SpeakerBot voice aliases, but they will have to be the name of the person. So the name, whoop, forgot I'm not zoomed in. Yeah, the short of it is, and like I said, I'm going to make a tutorial. I'll probably do that this week. But the name here has to be their exact username. That's going to show up in the variable that's created from the adding their username to group. So it can't be like a nickname because it's got to match exactly, because you're not going to use the voices, the users here. You're not going to use this because obviously they don't show up, right? So you're basically going to fake it. So you make a name, you know, exactly what it is compared to what's ever in the user group as their voice alias. And then if they don't have one, we set it up so that if user doesn't exist, then user equals default, whatever your default voice name is. And that way it always will at least register. So basically it'll look for the username, and if that username doesn't exist on this list as an exact match, it'll go to the default voice. But like I said, it's a pretty complicated setup, and for those that already have like users and voice aliases and nicknames and things like that, they're going to have to reconfigure SpeakerBot to get it to work that way. But not only will it help work on YouTube, it's also going to work like when you redeem a Twitch channel point reward. It'll also use whoever redeemed it. It will use their voice if they have one as well. So it's actually a little bit better. It's going to take some setup. So I'm going to cover that in detail in a tutorial. I said I'll probably
Surprise,
do that this
motherfucker.
week. So, doop, 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 doop. Surprise, motherfucker. Delete. Whoops. Now, where's your surprise? Oh, you'll know when it happens. You'll know. You set the user variable preferred voice. Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how you do it. The only problem with that, though, is for like dual streamers or those that are on Twitch only, it won't work exactly right that way. I mean, it does, but it will also break because it's looking, because then people like add nicknames and shit like that. So, but yes, that is basically what the tutorial I'm going to cover will do exactly. The difference is that with mine, you'll set them yourself. So like you can give them the option of what voice to use, but you set the actual names so they don't have to, because you don't want people typing in their aliases, bumfucker 69 or whatever, you know what I mean? Some weird shit. So any instance that these creepy people have to take advantage of shit like that and get it on stream so they can clip it or record it, they're going to take it. So I try to prevent that as much as possible. Yeah, D's nuts 420. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I'll in the tutorial I'll let them control like what voices they get to use, but the names and stuff that get said out loud and shown on the chat messages and whatnot, I'd like to have a little bit more control over that part at least. But yeah, there's going to be more SpeakerBot tutorials coming up. That's going to be one of the first ones, but you use a username from if it matches exactly. Yeah, so you'll want to use the ones that are from that without the ID and stuff at the end. Just the first ones that get pulled in. Yes. Yay! Enjoy your Baneri. Ugh. These all just look so shit. I wonder. Link Master, hi, thank you for the lurk, my friend. I hope you're doing well this weekend. That's kind of cute. I'm gonna have it come up in there. Change the colors, obviously. Or like on a little tablet. Oh, we could do that. Oh, well, I appreciate that. I hope you have a great dinner. Obviously, you're going out to eat.
Welcome to my schoolhouse.
I hope it's good. Hi, Chaz. How are you, my friend? Gonna have some wings. Ooh. I had Chinese last night. I actually bought enough Chinese to last me like 3 days because, you know, I always order a lot. And then I ate all of it but one dish. Whoops. It was just so good. I didn't want to stop eating. Like, oh, that one looks like a little cell phone. That's kind of cool. Toasty! Shit on nerd. Doot 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 doot. Nerd. Toasty. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, obviously. Oh, that's a whole ass image. Oh, I can just cover it though. It's a lot of damage. All right, so what if I do that? What if we go back? Let's see. Rounded corners. Can we match color? Lurk for real this time? Okay. Go get wings.
Hi, how are you?
That's something that looks like a beer menu. Awesome idea. Hi, Jeff. Welcome in. I can do that. I don't know. I just want something that looks a little more better. You know? Let's see if we got anything like that. Menu. Yeah, clockboard. Hmm. I wonder if I could get like a chalk text. That would look kind of cool. It was written in chalk. And have it like drop down from the top. You're taking us to school. I mean, you know, kind of. Kinda am. I mean, there's always like this type of thing too. And I put your little avatar up in there and then have your question. The only problem is that gap. We have one without a gap. Or only one panel. Yeah, like this. Here we go. That one's kind of ugly. Yeah, something like that for your schedule. Yeah. I synced it. That one's a little too cartoony. What else we got? Oh, what we got? You know, just a plank of wood. A deer? Go. A deer? A female deer? Ready to drop a golden sun? I don't know. All right, what do you guys like better? The chalkboard, like you're going to school, or like the wooden tavern thing? 'Cause I do have. Oh, that's a little cartoony. Both, yeah, they do. You like the wood? All right, let's see if I can't fuck with this a little bit. Edit. Set edit. There we go. Something Nordic. That looks a little better. Ooh, Tundra is the one I used for most of it. Still, just maybe we can make it less intense. There we go. I don't like the black and white. I like the Tundra. Maybe a little more color into it though. Something like that. Mm-hmm. Now we need like a, oh, maybe I don't need to throw my vape around. We need like a push pin or something now, right? Yeah. A hook. Ooh. Or a nail. Maybe. I mean, I could just have it like swing into place. I don't want to overthink it too much. You know what I mean? Not those kind of nails. Nailed it. Imagine just having like some big ass painted fucking fingernails stuck in the wall with a board on it. That'd be kind of creepy as fuck, wouldn't it? I like push pins better. The branding iron font. I think I have one of those. Oh my god. Yeah, the talking fish. A gory lump of flesh. What is wrong with you, dude? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who made you this way? I don't like that green color. Also, it's... Look at that, huh? Society? Fair. That's fair. Can I change the color? There. Now we can edit this. Oh, we did tundra, didn't we? Nordic. Oh, look at that. Look at that, huh? Oops. Wrong direction. Yeah, I could do something like that, probably. We could probably make that work. What goes on the board? The board's going to be the question that people ask.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Tarvik. Welcome in, my friend. Hope you're well. So probably what we'll do is we'll have this come in, and then we'll put their little avatar picture like in this little circle middle part, and then have the text show up on here. You're meh. I've been meh for a while. Is it big enough? Yeah. Yeah, we'll resize it in OBS, but yeah, I mean, this is 800 by 600, so yeah. No, let's try it. Let's put it on OBS and see what happens. We'll put it in YouTube stuff. And we'll name this. Wait, what was the other one called? Ugh. Text BG. Okay. There we go. Boom. And then what I can do is I can just replace this one. Excuse me. Right? Look at that. We'll add the chroma key. How does that look? Is that too big? That's pretty big, huh? What if we do it like that? And then we have the question text. Hey. I remember we gotta do the whole, okay, we can unrotate it now though. So that's nice. And then the bounding box. I've got to adjust that. But for now, we'll leave it like that. I am going to change the color though, because that green is nasty. I don't know what'll look good though. Should do, like, I'm just gonna do black with like a white border. Or is it? Oh, that's horrid. That's horrid. Ugh. Do I even need the outline? Can you read the black on there for now? Reverse it, white with a black border. Okay, let's try that. Oh, wrong one. What? What do you want, Burbeast? Okay, and then the avatar. We'll just move this guy. To there. All right. Should we try? Except I got to take a break. You take the dog out. How long have we been live? 57 minutes. So the 40 to 60 today wins the prediction over on Twitch. So I'm going to go BRB real quick, guys. Let the dog out. And then when I return, we will answer another question and see how the new stuff looks. Obviously, we're going to mess around with the font and things like that, but we'll do that after we answer the question. So give me a couple minutes, refill your drinks, stretch your backs, whatever. I'm going to end the prediction at 40 to 60 minutes and get the dog out, and I will be back. You think you're 2 minutes off? Oh no. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Hang tight.
I see.
Okay.
Once I actually describe it, it makes sense, but
We can
Yeah.
do one. The fact you don't want to do build makes it seem like you know I'm going to tag you. There's someone beside me here, by the way.
I got a legendary bush.
I got a legendary bush. Wow! What?
Not to
What an
toot my own horn, but no, as I was saying before all our base got taken over. Oh, rip. So nuns can't learn the tongue?
He's so hot. No. Yeah. Run forward. I don't know where Octane is. Octane's there. I'll shield you. Please. Oh, he's a spitting gun. Yes, Spirit! Yes, Spirit!
What? I'm the fucking best at this video game! Holy fuck.
From the bathroom.
Nope, it's not over. Y'all want to calm down over there? Noise you're making. Oh! Fucking hell. There, that's better. Jeez. Oh, I heard that. Somebody tossing marble.
I'm being. Oh.
Oh, we're on a ship. I dropped my ectoplasm bubble.
My stealing. My mouse.
We don't need gear.
Oh my god, gee.
Hi, wee.
Hi.
Holy crap, that was okay.
That was fun. That was fun.
The house is supposed to be the easiest map. I'm not very good at these games. Yeah, but I have fun. I have fun. I got jump scared to shit over there. Can't get down there. Deadpool's lingering around outside trying to fucking kill me in the dark. Oh! Fucking Christ, stop doing that shit! Guide you sometimes. I see you. This is wholesome. Yeah. It's okay. I'm not gonna lie. The atmosphere is creepy. Oh, what the? Smarter than the average bear? Why are you dying? Because I can't hit these stupid frogs? Why won't it let me hit them? What? Why can't, why? I'm up a tree. Fuck them. Why? I fucking love trimmers. What? He's looking at you like it's so easy. A 10-fingered moron could do it, and you'd be going, oh, telling you. You know what? I never even tried to use the bucket on the well. Every fucking time that bird gets me. And it's just a fucking bird. Alright, I'm tired of looking at it. It looks like a booger.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's a booger. Fuck. Yeah. Oh, God. Fuck. Juicy. I'm a juicy boy. They took my things. Oh! All right, we are back. Thank you for your patience so that my dog didn't have to pee on the floor. And right in time for the ad break to be over on Twitch. Cool. All right, so we got the new stuff. Let's see how it looks. Probably pretty horrible, but we'll see. So next question. I think it came from Konina.
Kleina Conan asks song requests for Spotify. Do your thing first. I'm waiting for my food to be delivered.
Song requests for Spotify. Yes, there are many ways you can do that. One of the easiest is a site called Songify. It's a little app that'll run free download. Songify overcode.tv. I will put this in chat. That's how you do my, yeah, Songify is great, right? So when you get to the page, you just download, you get it from the GitHub. So you're going to go to the GitHub. You're going to come down to the assets, get the zip file, unpack it, install it, all right? When you do, you'll get this little guy. It'll connect. Obviously, I haven't used it in a while, so I'm just going to cancel this. Click out of there. I don't want to update right now. So basically, you'll have this little dude that comes in, and you just set it up. This connects to Spotify, Deezer, Fubar, VLC, so you can play local audio if you want to. And YouTube through your browser. So depending on which one you want to connect, obviously with song requests and stuff. But then you just go through all of your settings and set everything up. So your system here, you can have it auto start, minimize the system tray, blah, blah, blah. Pick your theme. They have a whole bunch of different theme colors you can use. The output is where everything is going to be saved. If you save it, this is what is going to show, because they do have like a little thing you can grab. So it has artist, title, any extra information, and then who did the request. You can upload your song info, you know, basically just go through the settings, right? So with Twitch, you want to log in with your Twitch account, log in with your bot account if you want to, or you can have your main account be the bot account, set it to auto connect and all of that. And then the chat account, this is the one, so when it shows up in chat of like what song is currently playing and stuff like that, that's which of these two accounts is going to actually post it for you. You can set it up with rewards. If you have a channel point redeem, I just do the command on mine. So song request, you come in, the responses here, these are so when people do something like if a song's already in the queue, if the song is too long, excuse me, it'll put these in. You can change these if you want. And then the commands. So exclamation point SSR is Songify song request. You turn that on, and then when anybody does this, they can do the command plus either the artist and title name, the title and artist name, or a direct link to a Spotify song, and it will add that song to there. The exclamation point song will show in chat what is currently being played. Next will display the next song in the queue, and so on. Obviously, it tells you exactly what they're going to do, and you can turn whichever of these on that you want. If you want to use them or not. And then you go to Spotify and you want to link your Spotify account. And then once it's linked, you can come in. I just like the liked songs playlist. So like my streamer delight playlist is the one that I have on Spotify. That's what it plays to. And then this little toggle right here, add all song requests to the playlist. So if you are making a playlist, like that's what we did on the stream. So every time somebody requests a song, that song is automatically added to this playlist. And then what's going to happen is when you start Spotify and you play from the playlist, it'll start playing your playlist. And then when somebody does a request, it'll add it to the queue. And then when the current song is done playing, it'll look at the queue, and if there's anything in the queue, it'll play those songs. And if there's nothing in the queue, it'll go back to the playlist where it left off and continue playing from there. And as you can see, it's super easy, pretty self-explanatory, and it's free. But once you have all that set up and you're connected to all your accounts, you just play Spotify, and this will pull in all of the information. And it will have this little thing here will show like the little album art, the artist, the cover, and you can actually capture this if you want to have it like on screen or whatever. The song don't at me, bro. What am I doing? Oh, I have settings still open. There we go. No.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Hi, dog. About to submit a question. Well, welcome in. Thanks for the redirect. I appreciate you. But yeah, so Songify there, you can go to your song requests. You can view the queue in a little window, and it'll show you what songs have been requested. You can actually clear it all there. You can view the console, which is this little guy, and it basically just kind of tells you what's going on with your shit. And you can also use the web server, which is this, but you don't really need any of that shit. So I mean, there's a lot of little features in there, but yeah, it's actually really cool and free. So check it out. Just remember that you do have it set to minimize to system tray. It's going to be in your little taskbar there. So when you want to exit out, you exit out. But that will need to be open every time you go live, so you can add it to your auto starter if you have that in OBS, or just make sure to remember to open it, make sure everything is connected. and you'll be good to go. Yeah, easy. But yeah, that's what I use. And then I use you can use, like I said, the capture if you want window capture for the little playlist, so you can like crop it out so you can just see the album art and all that and have that on your screen if you want. Otherwise, everything will just be in chat, and you don't really need anything else, you know. So pretty cool. That was Songify was actually going to be one of the tutorials I did last week, and I didn't get a chance to get to them because of the work schedule. So that one's still upcoming, but we'll cover all of that as well eventually. What?
Hi, how are you?
Well, thank you for the donation. Patriot. You're very welcome for all the help, but thank you for the donation. But you're going to get angry finger wags because you're going to keep your money. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I work my butt off. I mean, you know, it's a labor of love, though, you know? I need to be more productive, I think. I don't think I'm productive enough. I need to do more tutorials, more shorts. We're going to be adding a lot more shorts. I made the template yesterday for my shorts, so every tutorial that we put up is going to have a little short on it, which I think will help, you know, get some visibility out there for people that are looking for this stuff. I need to post more on social. You know what I need? I need like a fucking social media manager and an editor. So I can just be like, here's the raw stuff. Go do it for me. But I'm poor, so I can't afford those people. Cargo shorts, swim shorts, gym shorts, you name it. That's right. That's right. And they're all gonna have my face right on the butt. I'm gonna have different ones. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I could imagine you walking around over there, walking around Scotland in the summertime with your cargo shorts with the bearded fucking face on the ass cheek. Doing my Will Smith pose where I'm just like in the summer? Well, I don't know. Are you that weird kid that there's like 6 feet of snow on the ground and you're still walking to school in shorts like an idiot? Was that you, Grump? Yeah, yeah. You know, you have that kind of vibe about you. How do you move your current StreamerBot stuff to the new StreamerBot without losing everything? You don't need to move it. You just update. So when the new StreamerBot's stable, you're gonna have an update, and it'll tell you the latest version, and then you just download. Yeah, if you're on the beta channel or the alpha channel, see, I'm on the alpha channel, so like I could upgrade this one right now, and I would just download and then install, and it would do all of its stuff, and it would restart in the new mode, and it brings everything over. Yeah, so you don't have to start from scratch and like export or use a backup or anything like that. But yeah, if you're on the alpha, yeah, if you're signed in and you're logged in, when you go to check for updates, up in the top, hold on, up in the top right hand corner, you can select, so it defaults to stable. But if you're on the alpha, you can choose alpha, and then it'll show you that the latest version is there. And then you can download and install it. Yeah, easy. it's not recommended, which is why people like in the alpha channel and stuff are telling you start, download the alpha and move everything over, because the alpha is like unstable. It's not ready for production use. That's why it's in alpha state. So you do want to have backups of your old one and download a fresh install of 2.6, so that if something goes wrong with the alpha, you can have the 2.6 with everything in it working. But yeah. Yeah, what I would do honestly is just go to wherever you have your streamer bot installed, right? So your 2.6, right? So I have mine in here, right? This is all my stuff. Go into the backup, sort them by date, get the latest backup, and it creates a backup every day that you open the bot, and they're 24-hour updates. So it goes from midnight to midnight. So get, the latest one, right? And you want to just save that aside somewhere, right? Copy it somewhere. And then what I would do is I would go to the website, go to StreamerBot, download a brand new zip file of the 2.6, brand new, ready to go, right? And when you have that zip file, unpack it, open the StreamerBot exe to let it run one time. And when it runs the one time, it'll add all of these folders, right? And when that happens, close the bot, unzip your backup, and move all of these. They go into the data folder. So go into the data folder, and then everything that's in the backup, you copy overwrite everything that's there. And then you have 2 working copies of your 2.6 currently as it's set up with everything there, right? And then whichever one you want, doesn't matter which one, but whichever one you want, that's the one you update to the alpha version, and then leave the other one alone so that you have that backup, that working one to go with. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, you don't want to take your only copy of StreamerBot and update it and then use it in production and stuff, because if it crashes, it breaks, boom, you're kind of screwed. And going from the 1.0 alpha back to 26 can remove a lot of your things. You don't want to do that. Oh, excuse me. I didn't even know that was in there. All right, I think we have more questions. Let's get to the next one.
Mr. Grumpy Scotsman asked, how do I make some form of gambling system using SpatBear channel points of new form of chat points?
Well, basically, you have your choice, and it's how crazy do you want to get with it? Is there like one particular gambling game that you want, like a slot or a high-low, a dice roll, or do you want like various different ones? Either way, and you only stream on Twitch, right, Grump? You don't do a stream to like YouTube or anything. I can't remember for sure if you do or not. But the easiest way is to use a point system. Because like with Twitch, you can have a channel point redeem where it's 500 channel points to gamble or do this, whatever, but you can't give them channel points. You know what I mean? So the only way to give people channel points is through a prediction. So you can't like, oh, you have 1,000 channel points, redeem this for 500. It's a gamble game. You win the gamble. You now have 1,500 channel points. Twitch doesn't allow that. the most you could do is refund the points that they spent on that channel point redeem, which isn't really a win because, you know, they just get their points back. They can't get more. So you want to go, I think I already sent it to you, but you want to go to the extensions here on StreamerBot's website, and just look for points. And which one is the new one? I always forget which one's the new one. Let's look at point system. March, is it this one? Or is it this one? Yeah, well, they did one. They did one. There's one that's for multi. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this works with all 4 platforms. But basically, you import this code and, you know, follow the instructions and do all of the setup, go through all of this, and then you have a point system on your stream. And so people have to chat, right? And to get the points and stuff like that. But every like 5 minutes, they get more points and things like that. This is the new one, because Flawed made one by himself. I think Terrier Darts made another one by himself, and Pony made one. And then when things changed with the API and changed with StreamerBot, they all kind of got together and were like, why have 5 of these? Let's just make one together. So they kind of pooled their resources and made one that was everything. But once you have this all set up, right, you have your point system in place. And then from there, you just have to make your game. There are some that are like pre-made, like other people have made, like a roulette system or a dice game and things like that. And then what you're going to do is basically you just follow these. There's like the set and add. You're going to add points if they win. There's a sample redeem that comes in, so you can see how the layout works. Hello, Ito. How are you? But basically, because as you know, there's nothing that's like pre-installed with StreamerBot, right? It's just the programming. You make everything. So if you want to make a dice game, if you want to make a roulette wheel, or, you know, a slot type of game with emotes or whatever, you make that, and then you link that to this point system, so that if it's a win, they get X amount of points added to them, and it costs them X amount of points to use that command. But it just depends on what type of game you want to do. A dice game, actually, Master Magic, who I don't know if he's still in chat or not, made a rolly game, which is a dice roll game for Jasperay that they use on their stream. It rolls a D20, and you can actually set it up where you roll, you get a base value, and then the next person rolls, and if they roll higher than what the base value is, they win. So, and I think if you go in the show off, did we put that the rolly game in the show off? I can't remember if we did or not. I know it was somewhere. Yeah, don't bet real money. I'm just going through the show off real quick, see if it's in there. I know we have a lot of stuff in there. But I know we made a rolly game. Ah, here we go. Yeah. Let me Apply. No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I want to copy. I'll tag you in it, Grump. Just to kind of give you an idea. So it's in the show off thread. I just tagged you in it. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different things you could do, and then you just have to follow the instructions here on like with the sample redeem, and go through and make the game, but you tie your trigger to trigger it to the point system. And we actually covered this last week as well, using the point system. I think it was last week. Shit, I know we did though. And I talked about how we actually helped because we had somebody that couldn't get their actions to work with the points, and so we actually showed and covered exactly how to do it. And I'm trying to find that now as well. Yeah. Let me just. That will help as well. Here it is. So yeah, check this one out, this answer, Grump, to see kind of how to tie your actions into the point system. Because yeah, we covered that. It was 2 weeks ago, on March 8th. But that'll kind of give you an idea of how the point system works with actions that you create. And then I'm sure if you ask in the bot help section, if you make it in there, I'm sure Master Magic would be more than happy to share with you how he made the Rolly game and help with creating that and duplicating it. One thing I want to do this one. Let's see if we do. Yeah. Trying to make this look a little bit prettier. What if we make this take 1 second to fade in? Try that. What if we do, ooh. Oh, that looks pretty smooth. Yeah, Malcolm, that was you, yeah. That looks pretty slick. And then you know what I'm going to do? I don't think I'm going to do the same thing here. Except I'm going to go barn door. No, we're not. So I'm currently looking at transitions, show transitions for this. The barn doors, I don't really like those. The blinds, you. Okay, Grump. Oh, that's what that does. Okay. Fractal? Oh, a fan? Ooh. Oh, that's just a linear drop. Okay. Spiral? Whee. Yeah, those are all. Nah. I think we'll cancel that. We'll leave that as the drop. But, okay. And then the text, though. That needs to... Let's have that burst as well. Oh, that looks kind of slick, doesn't it? Okay. Let's answer another question and check out how that looks. I'm sure the timing on the drop will need to be adjusted, but I want to catch this also. All right, next question. Let's see how this animation looks.
Hi-Fi asked how to get the clip for shoutouts and raid alerts. He knows we covered this, but got frustrated when trying to find it, so wanted to put it in the Discord.
How to get the clip for shoutouts and raid alerts. Right. So we use VR Flawed's shoutout, video shoutout is what we use. It's an HTML file. You can either use the one on his website or download it. Here we go. Yep. Now he gave me permission because I have made a lot of changes to his shout out stuff for my stream. And Vlad gave me permission to make a tutorial on it and show everything that I've done. Obviously, I will be linking to his stuff here. But this is the tutorial and it has the files that you need. So you click on more. The shoutout hd.html, just right click and save that link as to save it to your computer. And really that's what you need. So you need that, and then you get the import code here. And then you just basically import that code, set everything up to point to your OBS scenes and sources where you have that HTML file as a browser source. And everything is covered in this tutorial for basic setup. But that's what we use. That's what almost everybody that does the video shout outs with StreamerBot uses because it's so clean. Now, keep in mind that currently Twitch is changing their clip handling. So the API for clips is changing. They're actually changing the file format of their clips, so they're not going to be all MP4s anymore. And so right now, with all these changes going on, and you'll see this. Hi, sweetie. You will notice, and I'm sure most of you around Twitch and stuff have already seen this, that when you do a shout out, sometimes they don't show up. It's just like the little avatar of the person you're shouting out, but no clip ever plays. That's not a problem with Twitch Guru. It's not a problem with this script. It's a problem on Twitch's end because they're making all of these major changes. So once Twitch has settled their shit and figured out how they're actually going to handle their clips and everything, then it will work again. You'll see on VR Flawed's script, this has been updated with the first change that Twitch made to their clip when they added the featured clips, and those were handled differently back in September. So this handles that change, but it doesn't handle the current changes that Twitch is making because they're not done making the changes. And why Twitch decides to make changes on live servers instead of doing it in the background and waiting till everything works fine and then pushing it out as a change, I don't know. But they didn't ask me how best to handle that, so I guess that's what we get. But yeah, so my tutorial on the video shoutouts will not come out until after all of those API and format changes are handled and we have everything working correctly again. So yeah, if you do this, or if you use Twitch Guru or any of those other video shoutout programs that do that and notice that the clips don't always play, some of them will, some of them won't. You can shout out the same person 2 times in a row and one of them will work and one of them won't. It's not you. It's not the program you're using. It's all on Twitch right now. So once Twitch fixes their shit and gets their shit under control, then everything will start working again. You may need to update the HTML file or the browser source file that you're using for it to get the changes in effect. But again, that once all that's happened and everything's working again, that's when I will make the tutorial pointing back to this one as well. But there it is. That's what you need. But hi, Dave. Welcome in. How are you? Ooh, ah. Bum, ba, bum. You're very welcome. You're okay, you guess? Well, you have 7 days off of work. How are you only okay? Are you still mad at that randomizer taking almost 3 hours to find a sword yesterday? Is that stuck in your craw? Only 3.5? Well, it's better than the 1.5 I have left. I was supposed to have Monday and Tuesday off as well, and that got fucking canceled quick as shit. You woke up at 4 a.m. this morning against your will. Was it the cat or was it Geek? Or did you have to pee because you're an old man and you can't hold your bladder through the night anymore? Your body revolt. Yeah, I feel that, dude. I am with you on that one. You had to pee-pee in the potty like a big... Did you make it all the way this time? What? Head pats. Everybody head pat Dave in chat for making it to the potty like a big boy. I only have 3.5 days off left. Fuck off. Thank you, 5. Yeah. Excuse me. I've turned up my vape. It's hitting a little harder than I'm used to, but we vibe. Probably turn it back down, but I'm not gonna bitch out now. All right. I think we have more questions. Yeah, well, I know Pi just asked one. I think we have another question. Let's go ahead and get to it. And let's look at this pretty new animation. How does the text look, guys, that you're watching live on your various sized monitors and resolutions? Let me know how the text looks on this here.
Malcolm 1971 asked, do you know how to do game title update in Streamer Bot?
Yes, I do. I do know how. I have mine set up as a mod command, so mine is set game, exclamation point set game, that my mods can use if we change games in the middle of the stream or whatever. But yeah, it's actually very simple. This is not the bot that has it though, so hold on. Or is it? Let's see. Is there a way to automate? Yes, we'll cover that. Font looks good, but I can use a shadow. Okay. Size and legibility and all that's okay though. We can definitely add a drop shadow to it. I just want to make sure, because I know, like, you know, on my screen it looks fine. Right, but
Words
I know people
look
have
good, crisp and clean. Even I can read them.
Well, that's high praise if I can read them. I only have like a 3rd grade reading level, so that's. I also gets his whole rated, so you know. I kid. I'm on the wrong bot again. Which one is it? No, it's mod actions. Hold on. I'll find it. Maybe I didn't move it over to this one. That's a high possibility as well. Fine, I'll open another bot. I give too much credit. Okay, that's fair. This is probably going to break all of my shit right now, but that's fine. Okay, set. So, set game. So here's what I have. Okay. Zoom in. All right, so I have one here. I call it mod set game. You can obviously name it whatever you want. I have mine set to an action. So when I'm going to be like, hey, I'm changing blah, blah, blah. Right. So mine's just exclamation point set game. And then we get the info from the input. So this is going to be add target info from who redeemed. You're going to change it from broadcaster to from input so that you get the variable for whatever is typed in there. Channel game is a sub action. So it's Twitch. Where'd it go? Is it channel? Set channel game. And then for the input there, you're going to just do raw input because you're pulling that from whatever it is. If you want to set a specific game, you can just type the name in there, yourself. But obviously the variables are going to be better because you're not always going to switch to the same game. And then I just have a Twitch message that says, hey, the game title's been updated, just to let me know that it's run. And then I have the image. If you've seen my Twitch streams, like right below the webcam, I have the image of whatever game we're currently playing. So I have a separate action that pulls that information in for the game art, but for just the name. And then you do that. Now, to automate that, yes, you can. And now I'm going to try to remember how. No worries. No worries, Ito. We can cover it. Might not be able to get to everything, but we can get you going and get you covered up with what's going on in the channel. Right. So we're gonna go to platforms, I think. Sounds good. All right. Cool. Right. So the stream update, this one does it only on Connect. So the first time, but you still need that on. And then I think, let me check. I think there is a, oh wait, before we go any further on that, Malcolm, let me ask you. You said you want it automated. You want to automate. So basically, if you're like playing Phasmo and you said, I'm done playing Phasmo, I want to play Among Us. Whatever. Like when you say you want it automated, you want it to, like, if you open up Among Us, it automatically says, oh, Among Us is open, and changes your game? Or what? Yes? Okay. That is not going to always be possible. So you got to be very, very careful when trying to do that. Right? Because obviously Twitch doesn't know what you're broadcasting. So there's no way to automatically update Twitch, and we can't pull the information from Twitch to go, oh, our game has changed automatically. So you can do it with the bot. It's going to take a lot of C#. But basically, it would only work with Steam games. So if you play on Epic, if you play on GOG, if you play off a console, because those inputs aren't pulled in from those sources, right? So like if you're playing with a console and you switch to a different game, as far as OBS and everything else is concerned, it's just the console. What it's actually showing doesn't know that. But you can get the information from Steam. You have to log into Steam. You have to go to the Steam Mod API, get an API key. You have to be logged in and have your Steam profile set to public so that it can pull the game information. And then there are variables that go into it, and you have to go into the URL and pull that exact variable out. It's quite a setup just to get that. The easiest way is to close the game you're playing, open the new one, and type in chat, set game, whatever game. And then when you do that, it'll change it on Twitch, it'll change it on your player, it'll do it, but to do it automatically, because it is possible, yes. But it also doesn't work with every Steam game, because not all of them are set up properly to populate all of those variables that come in that API from Steam. And there'll be times like on my stream, I have the stream or the game information and a link to the Steam page for that game that shows up while I'm playing that game. And you'll notice like when I'm playing a non-stream game or thanks. But if we do all of that, it doesn't always show the link. The link will be broken because that game is either not a Steam game, it's a demo, it's a beta version that's not public on, Steam yet, whatever the case may be, or the person that created their Steam page for their game just didn't add that information for Steam to pull in. So yes, it is possible, but honestly, it is a lot of work for something that is super simple to just type in chat. And you can make the command mod only. So like your moderator can do it. You'd be like, oh, we're going to fucking play Phasmo now. And while you're changing games, your mod can type in set game Phasmophobia, and do it for you. But yeah, the actual figuring out what game is live is going to take like some serious C# because it's got to check EXEs. Are they running? Are they not running? It can actually get really, really system intensive too for no reason because it's got to check regularly, So yeah. I mean, if that's what you want, we can make it happen, but again, the limits are you can only play off of Steam. It has to be a public game, public profile, all of that. So it's a lot of setup on the back end that we'll have to check and make sure that you have. We'll have to get you the API, and I can show you how to do that. But it's pretty convoluted. So if that's something that you really want to do, just post about it in the Discord in the bot help section, and we'll get started on that. But it's going to take a while, so just be aware. But yeah, I would just follow the setup like I just showed you with the commands and set it to a mod only command. Just let your mods handle it. It takes 2 seconds to type into chat. You're like, oh, set game, whatever game title is. The only caveat to doing this, and this is just how it is, it's not anything we can control. The game name has to match exactly what it shows up on Twitch. So like when I do Ghost Exorcism Incorporated, there's a comma and a period in the game title, and I have to put those in, because if it doesn't match exactly, it won't pull the game up, right? So like if you want to switch to Phasmophobia, you can't just be like, oh, set game to Phasmo. It won't switch over because you have to type in Phasmophobia. If there's an apostrophe, if there's a dash, if there's, you don't really have to worry about like the capitalization so much. That doesn't matter, but punctuation, spaces, spelling, all of that have to match exactly because we're using the raw input, right, to do the trigger. So. All right, we have another question from Lazy Fies, making me do all the work for him.
Hi-Fi asked how to get the Twitch user avatar and display on Obscene as a source. Again, frustration is a factor.
How to get the Twitch user avatar and display it on OBS as a source. It's a browser source, bro. So what you're going to do in OBS, you're going to add a new browser source. Name it whatever you want. Avatar. Right? I have mine set to 300 by 300. You can set them to whatever size you want. but 300 is what works for me. In the URL, you're gonna do about. Let me zoom in here for you. About :blank, and that's just so you don't have this blue OBS. You just added a browser source shit show up, right? And you're gonna click OK. So here it is. Now we have it, and you put this wherever you want your avatar to show up. And then in StreamerBot, you're going to come in and you're going to do a new action, and you're going to basically get the user's profile image from them. Okay. So when you do whatever it is that you do, oops, we're doing a couple of things. So we got to get the information. So from Twitch, you have to have the whoops, here it is, the who sent from who redeemed. Okay. If it's on YouTube, you don't need that. But what the variable you're looking for is either going to be user profile URL. Let me zoom in again for YouTube. User profile URL with the P and the U in URL capitalized. For Twitch, it's target user profile image URL with everything capitalized, only the first letter except for target. Target user profile image URL. That's the variable to pull in, right? So then what you would do is go in OBS sources, set browser source URL. You're gonna pick the scene that we're in, or that you have your thing in. You're gonna pick the source that you want it to be. You're going to put the URL as that variable. So target user profile image URL, or the YouTube one, right? And then when you do that, now when this gets triggered, whatever your trigger is that you want to use it for, and thanks for paying your cover charge, sister, I appreciate you. Whatever you have your trigger set up for wherever you're going to show this, then that's what it'll do. And then you just make the thing visible, the source visible, and then have a delay for however long, and then turn the visibility of that source back off, right? So like we do when you ask a question, it turns the visibility on, shows it, turns it off, right? But that's all you got to do. It's just that set argument, or not set argument, but you get their information and then put it in a variable. Well, it is in a variable. It already comes in, and then yeah, target user for Twitch. Target user is the one you need. Yeah. Easy peasy. Get it? And then that will show up in here. Was using YouTube's? That's why then, yeah. Yeah, dual streaming, it's not that difficult, but the initial setup to get everything to work can take a while. So, you know. We got ads coming up on the Twitch side. I apologize for that. We'll be back in a few minutes. And I'm actually out of coffee, so I'm going to take a quick BRB while this ad break on Twitch is going on, guys. So hang out, unclench your jaw, stretch your fingers, stretch your neck, stand up, walk around, get the blood circulating, go refill your drinks, whatever you got to do. We'll be back in a couple minutes, all right? Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Jesus fuck. Sweet corn. Piss fucking yellow. I just pop. I can already smell it. I'm gonna need the barf bucket. All right, somebody do dictation. I'm going to I'm gonna go ahead and give my last will and testament now. Yeah, we got to do the smell test. We got to do this right. Oh. What is that? You know when you get like, you make dinner and you make corn for dinner and then you don't eat all of it, so you put it in Tupperware and you put it in the fridge, and then you forget about it, and then it comes time to clean out the fridge and you got to open that Tupperware. That's what it smells like. Oh my god, that is fucking rancid. Stop smelling it. My poop experience. Yeah, if I live that long, if I live long enough to poop again, it's gonna be bad. Wouldn't that be funny shit if I drank this and then just pooped like some corn kernels? Not a good time to say reconstituted corn chunks. We're about to drink sweet corn flavored soda because my chat hates me. I got a cramp in my foot. It gave me a cramp in my foot. It smells so bad, I got a cramp. Okay, I love corn. I love corn on the cob. I love kernel corn. I do not like cream corn. My dad loves cream corn. To me, it's like eating a bowl of snot. It is gross. I hate the texture. I hate the flavor. I hate the smell. This smells like it's going to taste like cream corn that has been left out for a few years. It can't be liquid and solid at the same time. That's not right. That's not what God intended. I mean, it looks like a Corona. Well, okay, no it doesn't. It looks like somebody pissed in a bottle. All right, guys. I don't think I will survive doing a wee nip like we did with the last one. I think this has got to be like a chug and done. Sweet corn flavored soda. Are we ready, guys? All right, I can't delay this shit anymore. It's starting to warm up in my hands, and I don't know if it's going to be better or worse warm, so. Over the lips and past the tongue, look out stomach, here it comes. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch, yeah. Oh, it's not that. Oh, man. Oh my god. No, no, no. Oh, no. No. I rolled a one. Fuck. That is not okay. That is not okay. No. Oh. I didn't even drink very much. This is so. It's still there. Oh. Okay. Think of a bit. I'm thinking of dying. Okay.
Benny Situation said, chug, 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 chug,
Oh,
chug,
no.
chug, chug, chug,
Oh,
chug, chug,
no.
chug,
No.
chug, chug,
Oh,
chug,
oh
chug.
God, no. Why is it so bubbly? Why is it bubbly? Just not okay. It got.
I just needed you to know.
I got
I love you.
foam. I love you too. What is there foam? Why is there foam?
Welcome to my world.
There you go. I let that one play out so that you could enjoy it. Hi, Daryl. Welcome in. Hi, Berserker. You are not. I am never drinking that shit again. Ugh. No. No. That was so foul. I would rather eat the scorpions again. Hi, sweet. The second time? No. I have PTSD from sweet corn soda. Yeah. Sweet corn soda, Daryl. It was not nice. The ranch was bad. The buffalo wing was bad. The sweet corn was a whole other level of horrid. Yeah. Be thankful that you didn't. and don't. I don't recommend it. They were disgusting. Yeah, we had them. I had a 6-pack, 6 different flavors. We had sweet corn ranch, the buffalo wing. We had what else did we have? Peanut butter, and was it peanut butter and jelly or just peanut butter? I don't remember. And 2 other ones I can't even remember now. They were in a bottle. Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, those like the Bean Boozled where they have like the, you know, they're just jelly beans, but they taste like whatever the fuck. It's the same thing, just in a soda form. Yeah. They have a lot of them, but I got the 6-pack. We did a donathon back in August. And those were some of the goals, was to drink those. We actually made it all the way through 4 of the flavors in that donathon. Yeah, they're all bad flavors. Yeah. The worst of them are up on my TikTok, I think. I haven't posted much on TikTok since then, so they should be right at the top. But yeah, the sweet corn by far is the worst. Absolute fucking worst. But they have flavor like grass and, you know, all kinds of shit. Bacon. We had bacon was one of the flavors that we had that day. And I can't remember the 6th one now. I probably blocked it out of my brain. Let me refresh my deck here. I move the buttons around. But yeah, it was pretty foul, and you know. No, the bacon flavor wasn't horrible. Like it made me kind of go, you know, and the aftertaste was bad, but it wasn't, compared to the other ones, the bacon wasn't horrible. So, you know, the things we do for donations and donathons and subathons and shit. Crazy. Yeah, what else have we done on my streams? We've eaten tarantulas. We've eaten crickets. We've had a scorpion. We ate a scorpion. The tarantula was bad, but the scorpion was... I almost lost it. I almost spit it all back up. I was a trooper, though. We held it in. We got it down. We ate it all. The claws, man. Chewing the fucking claws on a scorpion, dude. This is just like chewing rocks. Those things are hard. Oof. Oof. They don't taste that great. I'm sure if they're cooked right and like have some like flavors added to them and shit. Oh, I appreciate that, Ito. No, the flavor wasn't bad. It was just like the mix of the texture and the hardness, and it was a little much. Yeah. And like the crickets actually tasted kind of decent, some of them. We had flavored ones, and they tasted okay. But getting like their little legs stuck between your teeth, that sucked. That was the hard part for me. Same thing with the tarantula. Like the tarantula wasn't bad at all. It was crunchy. It didn't really have a flavor, so there wasn't like a flavor, but like I got like the little fangs and part of the head stuck between my teeth, and it was... Yeah, the cheese dusted. Yeah, we had salt and vinegar. We had cheese. I don't know. We had like 4 or 5 flavors of crickets. But the crickets weren't bad at all. They were just, they got stuck between your teeth, and so they just stayed there for a while, you know? Yeah, the legs. Yeah. Where is my... oh, there. No, found it. No. Oh, looks like we have one more question so far. Should we get to it? Should we answer it? Should we try to answer it? You have to go get your hair cut to look pretty? You're going to need to cut more than one of them. Are you getting the ones on your back cut too, or just... Berserker. Enjoy your haircut, man. I'm sure you're going to be a handsome devil. You already are, so enjoy. But thank you for the lurk and for being here for a little while. I appreciate you, man. All right, let's answer this fucking question here.
Live Windows Training Doug Betts asked, I have rolling credits and points working. I would like to include a scoreboard, leaderboard or points next to each name on the credit screen at the end of the show. Do you know how?
I don't, but we can figure it out. Aw, I appreciate that. Yeah, the rolling credits and the points working. You'd like to include a scoreboard. So you're talking about you want to show their points next to their name. Doug, do you want the point system or not the point system? Do you want the points displayed every time their name is shown on the credits, or do you want it to be like its own section, like have like, oh, most points currently or whatever, and have it like be its own little section? Or do you want to be like, oh, these are the 5 people that followed me today, and then they have 10 points, 100 points, and then, oh, these are my subscribers, these are my moderators, and then have the points next to their name on each of the other ones? Right. No, yeah. But I'm saying in the credits, you know how you have in the credits, you have like, you know, your followers, your subscribers, your moderators, you have all these headings with the names underneath each of the heading. Do you want the points in the leaderboard to be its own heading with like the top 5 people or whatever? Or do you want like the points like in parentheses at the end of everybody's name in all the other headings? Does that make sense what I'm asking? Okay. Gotta make it hard on me. All right. Oh, look, scrolling credits. Hi, Evie. How was the rest of your stream? Who are we watching now? Because I still had you tabbed up. Welcome in. It was fun. Good. Did you make significant progress? Your kid's favorite streamer? Sorry, not me. I noticed it wasn't me. You finished twice. You must be tired. Heyo. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's code. Yeah, this is just HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Be a cute mouse girl? And how do you know I'm not? I am using filters after all. Maybe I'm using a voice changer too. Maybe I am Iron Mouse and this is my actual face. You don't know. Oh my God. I wonder if there's a mouse girl filter. There probably fucking is. I am not Iron Mouse, by the way. Please don't. I mean, I wouldn't mind having their follower and subscriber count, but let's see what we got here. Can we, is there a mouse? There's Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse. I could be an actual mouse. Is that cute? I could be a little cartoon mouse in a hole. Look at my cheese. Nah. No, okay. Well, we'll just take it all. Oh, I didn't mean to minimize. Hey, there's a VTuber model. Yeah. It would be nice if the question, after being initially read aloud, moves down somewhere on the screen so we know what's currently being answered while it's being answered. Might be able to do something with that. Yeah. There's just not a whole lot of space, and if I've got to do something that takes up most of the screen to show, you know, I don't want that covering the actual answer. The links in YouTube, Jesus Christ. The links in the Discord are basically for like people that aren't here. They know, oh, I was question number 7 today because it tells them when they ask, right? And then they can go back to the Discord when they come back to their computer and be like, what was my answer? You know, or check it tomorrow when they actually get to go and work on whatever it is they asked about, you know. But yeah, we might be able to do something like that. Or I might be able to like put it in a variable and have it as a command, you can be like current question in the chat and have it show up, you know, in chat for you. We might be able to work with something like that. Fi, you want to give me a reminder to look into that? All right. Okay. Sorry, Doug. I got off on a tangent there with filters and such. I apologize. So what we would have to do basically is in the scrolling credits, you're going to have to, let me undo these because we did this before for just YouTube. We're going to have to, create a variable for the points for that user. And then we're going to have to add that variable to the credits to append to the name. That's going to be tough. So it's going to be on this line, currently line 108. Name is the entry. So we have a div with the title, and then we have a div with the class names.
Sorry, boss, who was that remind about?
Remind me to look into having the current question being answered on screen or in chat somewhere so people don't have to keep going back to the Discord to see what I'm currently talking about. So how the best way to do this? Headers. Thank you. Trying to think of the best way to actually add this. It'd probably be better if I used the point system and I just knew what it pulled in, but so it's going to be right here. Is it? Okay. You see, I don't really have a way to test it because I don't use the point system. So it's going to be hit or miss. The name is the entry. The entry is every name as long as the event data is greater than 0. Then I have to send the variable to the HTML also. Doug up in here making me rewrite entire JavaScripts for him. It's okay. What I might have to do, I might have to go and add the point system to my testing bot and connect it to my testing OBS so I can give points to fake people. Because it's no problem adding the points to a variable, and it's no problem adding that variable to the HTML. The problem is linking the two with the right username and getting that to show in the credits, because the credits are pulled from their own source. So basically we have to like kind of overwrite that source. Well, I don't even have the point system installed. That's what I'm saying. I don't use it. I've never really found a need for it. The variable should be points, and like I said, the problem is in here, right? Because what we're doing is we're basically, to populate your credits, we're using these here. And the point system isn't in this list, obviously. So all of these names are already populated based on what you have selected in the database for the credits. So there's a specific database file for credits. And so this gets populated, this file gets populated as your stream goes on automatically. And what we're going to have to do is tap into this file to add their name. So like, for example, right now I got like Hi-Fi as my subscriber that's currently in the chat, and I would have to go and edit this to be also like space points, and then we would have to read this by parsing the variables. But the points that we use, the points variable, would have to be specific to this person, right? So if Hi-Fi has 1,000 points, but Malcolm only has 100, if we just do points, it's going to pull the first point that it finds, which is going to be 100 or whatever, and it's going to populate all of them. So this would have to be a set argument variable for like username points. And then not only will we have to do that, we would have to do that for every possible instance. So for every check mark, followers, cheers, subs, we would have to make a different variable for each one of these, all of them, to show the points in that category. Try means that, yeah. So it can be done without C#, but that is a lot of fucking. I mean, your sub actions for that would probably be. Oh, and then we have to update that variable every time they get new points. No, we don't. We wouldn't have to do that. We can just call it all once at the end, set it at the end. So like a trigger would be like, you know, when you go to your ending screen or whatever. And then it would pull their current points and put it in a variable. Ugh. Okay, the event data is here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and that's why I asked for clarification. Doug wants the points next to each username, not as a separate heading. You only use the users category? Well, that'll help. I just want to make sure that we're pulling from the right file. You're using Dark Horse, you're using the streamer bot? The core one, right? For the point system. The leaderboard, is that a variable that's already built in? There's a leaderboard extension on Twitch that ties into this point system. Oh, that's right. Doug is a YouTube. That's why you're using, because you're setting, you're already, oh, that's right. You're already creating your own variable. That's why you only use the users. Okay. Bye. I think we found our next 3-week one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't even think I can import this one, can I? I should be able to. Points are okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Add points, set points. Add points. Reset. So we're getting, okay, so it's pulling it from the name. So the argument name. There might be. That might be putting the cart before the horse. Because this system already keeps track of the users and their points. I'm just trying to figure out for the YouTube what that argument is. And then your group could just be that argument. Instead of the username, it could just be that argument. It would be the username and the points. So that gets the username. Sets it to target username. What? Phil! What are you doing? Stab it. Welcome in, Raiders.
The short and informative call is about your low-cost, final expense
I'm
life
Shadow.
insurance program, which is designed to cover all of your funeral, burial, and cremation expenses at very low budget. No. Your short call is about your Medicare additional benefits. So do you have Medicare
Adrian,
Part A
hi,
and
welcome
B?
in. How are you?
Oh dear, you got the wrong scam, didn't you, dear?
You got the wrong scan. Phil, how was it, man? How was your stream? Hi, Stealth. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you so much. What's going on, everybody? How are you? How are you? This just saves the count and logs. Okay, we like that. We like that. User list count. Okay. We are currently trying to figure out how to add the point system to the ending credits, combining everything. But welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid, Phil. Some new folks in, which is always nice. Excellent. It's exclamation point ask by Jesus. How long have you been a moderator here? Oh, for those of you that may not know me, hi, I'm Bearded Ink. I do not scam bait. Sorry. I don't have the patience for that. I would get too angry at these fuckers. But I love watching Phil and Salty and Deborah and all them do it. You know. But normally we play games here on Twitch. We do RPG every month, and we do that during the week. Saturdays, as you can see, I do streamer-related questions, Q&A session. We come in, you have a question about how to use a bot or OBS or Twitch or YouTube, and you ask a question, and then we try to answer that for you live on the air. And I co-stream. I dual stream this on YouTube currently as well. And then, yeah, Sundays we do speed runs over here on Twitch. So that's what we're doing. And today we're doing our little Tavern Talk. We're having a little Q&A session, answering some people's questions. I think you like that. I need to do some with it. I had it up. I had it in ponytails. Yeah, that's why it's all wavy looking and shit. I haven't brushed it out or anything since I took the rubber bands out. But yeah, you know, taking me a little while. Taking me a little while. How you doing, DJ? So we get, okay, so let's adding it to a string. Okay. Let's go. User's current points. So this one adds the username based on who does it. So what is, okay. So the user redeemer, this would be point argument. Okay. Log information. User type. Okay. All right. I look like Santa. What, 2 years for this beard? I don't know. It's been a long time since I shaved. I had to cut 9 inches off last April. That was about here. I've grown about 6 of those inches back since then. So yeah, I get about 10 to 12 inches a year, give or take, depending on how much peanut butter I eat and how much I stop fucking with it. Now I look like a Viking. I'll take that. I'm okay with that. Code do not edit. That's just the sending of the message though. Okay, so we have Doug, do me a favor. Do exclamation point points to see how many points you have. And then let's look at the variables that come out of that. Not here. I don't have it set up. If that were the case, I would have just done it. Nerds. You guys. This one here isn't connected to fucking anything. This is like my show you how to do things without fucking up the other 5 bots that I have running right now. Yeah, basically.
I
Had to be more specific.
I do.
Sorry.
I do like sausage a lot.
You just get
Hell, you
points
could have
as
a
a
sausage
user.
taco. I'd be
Okay,
down
what
with that. I'd
what
like
does it
meat. Give me
display
meat.
though? Is it
I want
just a
meat in my
number?
mouth. Put it in there.
What about all the other variables? Okay, so if you go into your action queue, go to action queues and go to action history, you should see that point command that you just used. If you right click on that and to show or view variables after run or inspect variables after run, whatever it says, it should show up a list of like every fucking variable you have. It should look like this. Right? And in that, there should be there should be something. There should be a variable with that number. There should be a variable with their name. And if we're lucky, there's a variable that combines the two. We're not going to be that lucky, though. But I'm thinking we can just create it. So we could actually do like blah blah. I don't care. I'm looking. I don't see anything in the chit chat. You posted in the right Discord? I'm thinking, and it's hurting my head. Yeah, yeah. Either a set global or, yeah, we can do a set global, and then we just pull that global. Or we could just do a set argument. There it is. Yeah, exactly. And this is on YouTube, right? Okay. So Billy has 300 points. Points and username. Okay. Mine was a pre-built that gets manually upgraded. You can't read what? I'm going to zoom in for you. Can you read it now? So if we do the set global, yeah, I tend to zoom out when I go to like my other monitors because I don't want to make y'all dizzy, but ooh, you know. Dark Horse, you think a set global would be better than a set argument? I think we have to use a set argument, right? You have to use a set argument if we're going to combine two variables. So we could give it a name of like credit names. I don't know. And then it would be username, because we want the one without the spaces and shit. And then we could just do like a dash, parenthesis, and then points. But that's not going to give the points value for that specific user unless we make a new variable that adds them per user. Yeah, it's the same thing. Get user redeemer. Yeah, I might be able to do that. And then we just add those names to the group. Yeah. So Doug, that would all go into your action where you're setting the usernames in the group for you. So you already have that trigger set up. So every time that happens, excuse me, it would add them. So, okay. Well, there's no get user redeemer because this is YouTube only. You know what I mean? If you don't have access to your old email, Shadow, and you want to change it to link a phone, you're going to have to contact support. You may be able to go into the account that has the old email attached to it and add phone support with the two-factor authentication. And once the phone is verified, then you can use that phone number to create a different account or link to a different account. There is that option to toggle that below where you put the phone number in to allow it to create other accounts or use on other accounts. And then once you have that, you can go back and delete the email. But if you want to like change your email or create a new account, you would have to contact support. Basically, yeah, you don't want to do it on your phone either. You want to do it on desktop. But what I don't is it not letting you create a new account? Is that what you're trying to do? It's sending verification codes to that email. Yeah, that one you're going to have to contact support and tell them that you don't have access to that email anymore and that you want to change it to an email you do have access to. It's the only way you're going to get around it. Just have them do it on their end. And it'll take a little while. You go here, fill out this form, your name, your Twitch username, and then there should be, oh, sorry about the ads. We'll be right back after a word from Twitch's sponsors. They might be, yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, but they're going to answer by email. Hold on. That creates another problem. All right. Well, we have this already. From the point system. So if we get their specific redeemer, if we copy this, you don't like this ad? Because those are already set. So let's do this. Thanks, Evie. Oops. This would be a lot easier, I think. Okay, Doug. Well, no, because look, in the like the user current points, right? We already have each redeemer, each person already has their own points, and when they do the exclamation points command, it takes their name and their points and puts it in, right? So if we go then and use that as our sub action, where you have because you already have that one where you're adding the username to that group, so that's the action we want to work in. If you paste that get user specific redeemer, the variable points, and we change this to point name or like credit, let's just call it credit points with a default value of 0, then we can set our argument. So we can go to core, we can go to arguments, set argument, and give this one a name of like credits, something, doesn't really matter. The value would be user or username, and then however you want to display it, right? I am arguing with the bot, yeah. And then we could do like parentheses, we could do a %, and we called it credit points. Whoops. So now we have a variable named credits that will display the username and their points that we get. And then we send credits to the group that we made. And that will show the username and their points for each person in that group. And they have to trigger by talking or whatever, which will get their name as the variable for them. So you should have a temporary variable now, non-persisted user from YouTube, and it should say their username, it should say credits under their username. So you can use that. And then each one of those gets put into that group. So when you run your credits, it should show that way. That's okay. I was working on the question that got asked. Yeah, try looking at that and see what you get as far as like what shows up in the credits, and we can take it from there. Yeah. Shadow, for you, you want to go to your security settings. Security and privacy. This is where your email and your phone number and stuff is. We'll do. I have to get back to work. All right, man. Yeah, let me know, and you can just go in the Discord and post there instead of having to wait till like next week if it's not working. But yeah, shout out. So what you do is here you have a little edit icon, and you can edit your email address right there, and it should update, and it'll send you an email to the new email address. It sends one to the old email address too that says if this was not you, you know, fucking click here to figure it out. All right, sounds good, Doug. So you can't log into Twitch at all? So you have email two-factor set up. Yikes. Did you already create your new account? Okay, so on the new account, that's what you'll use here. So when you go to the support page, your name, you'll put your current account name that you can actually log into, and the email address for that account. And then in the category, it's going to be account login issues. And then in your description, just explain you had to make this new account because you can't log into your old account because you don't have access to that email anymore. And you would like to add this email to that account. And they'll get back to you in a couple of days or whatever, however long it takes, probably asking for more information, verify that you actually own that other account, blah, 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 blah. But then they can actually either remove the two-factor authentication so that you can log in and update the email, or they will update the email for you. But it's all gonna have to go through here, but just make sure when you're putting in the info up top that you're using the ones that you can log into and the email address that you can log into, and then go from there. Actually, what I would do in the Twitch username, I would put the account that you cannot log into, because that's the account you're concerned about. You know what I'm saying? So your name here, the account that you can't log into, but the email address here that you can log into, and then tell them, hey, I don't have access to that old email for this account anymore, blah, 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 blah. And they're going to respond in email with what your next steps are. Yeah. So when you say, I don't have access to the email, you know, that's what was set up for two-factor authentication, but, you know, things change and whatever. This is the email I want to use, but I can't log in to update it. Can you help me out? Blah, blah, blah. It's probably going to take a few days for them to get back to you. Last time I used the Twitch support, it took, I think it was like 3 days before they got back, and then I had it resolved in like a week. But yeah, that's going to be the only way you can get back into that account is through support. What about the email issue? Well, that's what they'll solve, right? So once you explain to them that you don't have access to that email account that's on that Twitch account to get the two-factor authentication code so you can log in, so you can update the email account. You know, you're not the first person that's changed emails or lost access to an email account. So they have, you know, they're just gonna have to verify that you actually own the other account, so you're not trying to hack into somebody else's. But other than that, once that's verified, they'll either, you know, change the email account for you on that account so that you can get your two-factor code, or they'll just like remove your two-factor so that you can log in without it and update your email and then add the two-factor back, you know, something like that. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to handle it, but they have their checks and balances ways of doing it and get you back into your account. Yeah. Cool. Fun. I can't wait to see what Doug says about that. That's an interesting workaround. You're welcome. Interesting workaround. I'm gonna have to fucking install this point system. I get a lot of questions about it. Like, I know how to use it, I know how to set it up, I know how to link things and all that, but I don't know workaround stuff like we just tried to figure out. And I don't really have a way to test it, so great. I'm gonna have a point system. Blech. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. You don't want to know how I really feel, Evie. Yeah, we have it. I need to change that height. Hold on. Do I have a command for it? No. I have a number on screen. We have 0 currently. Right underneath the beer mug there. Oh, yeah. Shit. Chaz, I figured out your bounce. I was gonna post about it in the Discord, and then you deleted the question, so I had nowhere to respond to. Don't do that. I just gotta remember where I put it. Which fucking OBS did I have it in? Is it this one? Ah, it's fine. Oh, let me. Was it this one? I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was this one. Looky, looky, look. Ta-da! And look, there's only one move source. Yeah, so your custom duration is where you want to change, right? And it's bounce, but it's ease out. If you have ease in, it does it from the top, which is creepy, right? And if you have ease in and out, it's going to do it on both ends, which looks really fucking awkward, right? So ease out goes the bounce at the bottom, ease in bounces at the top. So you start with where you want it or where it is, and then you move it manually where you want it and click on get transform, and then that puts that up. Ease in and out looks like Inception. Yeah. The only problem with yours is that you have that background image, you know, moving and getting smaller, and you have the banner at the bottom, which is also moving, right? And then bouncing. So you may need the second move source. So if we just look real quick, so your thing is down here automatically, and then as the image moves, you're having this follow the image and then stop and then bounce. So what I would do is I would have the first move source, no bounce, just have it follow the image, and then get about, you know, go like when the image stops, and have the banner keep going a little bit and then stop, and then have it bounce down into place with the second move source. Does that make sense? Because you're going from the bottom up and trying to bounce it to its position, but it's not going higher than the bounce position. So if you have your image and you move this with the image, but then keep going a little bit, and then that's where your first move source stops, and then the second one is the bounce, ding, 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 it'll bounce back down into place. That makes sense? You're so okay. Let's see. How can I explain? So you have your image that the banner is on. Get out of here. Where the fuck? Right. So this is that image that you showed me. Right. I don't even know what all this crap is. And you have the banner at the bottom of this. It doesn't matter what it is. So you have that picture, right, of the lovely lady there, and you have the banner at the bottom. And then in the example that you showed, you had the image of the lady like being resized and moving up, right? And then you had the banner following it. Alerts. Okay. So this is, you had something like this from what you showed me in the Discord, right? BRB, okay. It's going from full screen to review mode. Right. But that's what I'm saying. It was changing position, and you were having the banner follow it. So what I'm saying is do that. You're going to have one move source that moves the banner with the image, but instead of stopping at the bottom, have it continue on and stop somewhere like up here. So the image is done moving. The banner, oh my God. The banner goes with it, but when the image stops moving, the banner keeps going up a little bit. Then it stops. And then you have the second move source, which bounces it back down in place. So you two move sources, one to move it from its original position to a little bit, higher up, or even all the way at the top of the image once the image stops moving. And then the second move source to bounce it in place at the bottom. Because you were trying to have it bounce from going up at the bottom and then just bouncing in here, which was trying to basically like bounce a ball under a table. You want to give it some space to actually go up and then come down and do its bounce. And then you only need those two move sources. By it, you mean the banner? Right. And that's what I'm saying. You have it going up already. When you go into normal mode, it goes up. But you're having it go up and stop at the bottom of the image where you want it to be in the first, and then trying to make it bounce from there. So what I'm saying is have it go up to the top of the image and then bounce. You get it? And then when you go back the other way and you're bringing this, you only need the one move source because you're already above the image. So you only need the one move source with the ease out bounce to bring it down and have it bounce in place down here. And then when you go back again, this gets moved up and made smaller or whatever it was doing. And then this one, move source number 1 to bring it to the top, move source 2 to bounce it in place. It would disappear off screen. What would? Yeah, it doesn't, even if this goes to the top of the image, somewhere up above the bottom. Because instead of trying to go from underneath and bounce it up to here, it's going to look awkward as fuck. Move 1 goes up. And then move 2 is the bounce that goes back down. Right. Exactly. And then the reverse of that is when you go back the other way, right? And you bring this back, you're already up, right? So we don't need to move it up again. So we just have the bounce down into place. Welcome back. Move 3 moves down below the screen. Don't let it. When you do your get transform, have it be where you want it to end. Oh, you want it? Okay, I get you. So you don't want the, okay, okay. I see what you're saying, right? Shut up, Evie. Yes, 3 total. So move 1, because I assume you start out at the bottom. So move 1's going to move it up when this image gets resized, right? Let me get to where I can fucking grab it. So this image goes, so move 1 goes up above. Move 2 bounces it down in place at the bottom of the image. Move 3 moves it down out of sight or whatever you want to do with it when this image goes back full screen. Whether you have the, you know, the thing showing or not, that's up to you. If you want the banner there, fine. If not, move it off screen. But yeah, those are the only 3 you need. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we were talking about it last week, and then you're like, yeah, I have 11 fucking moves. So I was like, Jesus Christ, that's way too many. Yeah, so you only need 3. Move up, bounce down, move all the way down. Yeah. And then I worked on it after that stream, and I was like, hold on. We're making this way complicated. And I went and I was like, oh, I got it. And I even made like a little video of it and explained all of this. And I went to post it and I was like, oh, I deleted the post. I don't know where to post it now. So I figured I would just wait. Yeah, I could have. I should have. I wasn't thinking. I was very tired that day. But we got it sorted now. So go play with that. See what you get. If you have any problems or whatever, just let us know. All right. But as long as you understand the functionality, you know, and you only need the one to have bounce. The other ones are just basic move sources, right? Yeah. So the move source is going to be on the scene, right, in filters. So what I have done, I'll zoom in for you, is this is on your banner. So the source is going to be whatever your banner is. The custom duration is how long you want that to take. So your first move from bottom up is going to take however long you want it to take, right? And that one is not going to have a bounce, right? So there's no easing at all. And then once it's up, so then you're going to grab your transform, move it manually on the page here up to where you want it, you know, above the image, and then get transform. You're going to click get transform. And then that one is going to be enable, you know, when the eye icon is enabled, the stop trigger is none. And then the next move is going to be another move source. So you're going to add your second move source. And that one is going to be the custom duration. So however long you want it to go from the top of the image and bounce down to the bottom, which would be, you know, 1500, 2000 milliseconds, something like that. The end delay needs to be 0 milliseconds. Ease out and bounce. And then what you do is you take this and move it to wherever that position is on the screen, where that image, you know, where you want it, and then get transform again. And then the same settings, except you're going to have no next move. Right? And then your third move source will move it from this position. Same thing. You know, all of this is the same. Your custom duration, how long you want it to go from the top down to the bottom or off screen or whatever it is you're wanting it to do. And if you're not having it visible, just have it go off screen. Again, no easing, and it'll just go straight down. And then that one is the same as this. Enable when the eye icon is on, and then none. Okay. Cool. Yeah, let us know. And don't delete the post this time. Silly. Oh, thank you for buying your pint. You sent another question last week. If you use the ask command, then yeah, we cleared the queue last week. So oh, did I? Fuck, I don't remember. I've slept since then. Yeah. The video was just a quick explanation, but what you just saw, what we went through just now, is a lot cleaner for you. It shows exactly what you need. Ito, are you still here? Or do you want me to call you Aki? I don't know. Oh, Christ. Yep. Oh, there you are. Look at that. Oh, about the possible project. Yeah, I'm still working on that. Oh, that was a scream alert. Yeah. Maybe playing a spooky game. Yeah, there you go. See? Let me go back to this real quick. Just wondering, if someone is having an issue, is there a way to export the code? So in StreamerBot, yeah. So for example, like I have these 4 things here. Let me zoom in for you. And so let's say you have this and you're like, I'm having this issue. I'm like, what do you got? What you're going to do is you're just going to right click and then there's the add to export button. It is pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. And then you can do that for whatever actions you want. Add to export. We're just going to add all 4 of them. Add to export, add to export. When you get all of them added, you go up top and you click on the export button. And it's going to show you what you've added. If there's any triggers, any commands, if there's cues, whatever. You can give it a name if you want to, a description if you want to. You don't have to. And you're going to click on export to file. Okay. And when you do, you save it somewhere like your desktop. And you're just going to give it a name. And this would be like Aki's export. And .txt is fine. And then you save it. It's going to say it's been exported. And you'll see there it is right there. You say okay. It's going to ask you if you want to clear your export. You can say yes, and it'll get rid of that. And then you can close. And then this text file is what you would send to that person. Right? And so now if I just, let me watch. If I delete all this. So now if I go into import, I can bring your text file that you sent me in. You'll see that it's going to bring these. I bring the imports in, and then there's they all are. Just however you sent them. And so that whoever you send it to can go, oh, here's where you made your mistake. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Yeah. You may need to do this. Yeah. And for yours, I know we have a lot going on and I don't have like the stuff open, but I'll just show you a real quick example, just kind of give you an idea. Okay. You know, let's see here. I don't know. You want me to call you Ito or Akari or you have like 8 different names. I'm just going to call it Ito for now, but I don't know. Ito is fine. Okay. You're like Ito here, you're Aki on the Discord, and it's like, I get confused easily. I have a small brain. You gotta make it easy for me. But basically what we're showing you, like, so you have your VTube studio with all of your hotkeys set up that do the different movements, right? Well, StreamerBot can push those hotkeys for you. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to, once you have an action created, you give it a name, we come over to the sub actions section and you're going to right click. And this is where you get all of your sub actions from. Okay. And so what we want to do is we want to press a key. So we're going to go to core. We're going to come all the way down to system and find keyboard press. And you're going to click on that. And then this is where you define what keyboard presses are. So if your hotkey, let's say for example, your hotkey in VTube Studio for the first movement was Alt F1. So you come in here, you can click the Alt for the Alt key, and then you drop this down and you scroll down, you find F1. And then we say okay. All right, so now it's going to press Alt F1 and it's going to do that first movement where she falls off the side, right? And then we want our next movement to sit her back upright, but off screen, you know how you have it. So say that's set to Alt F2. You would do the same thing. We can just duplicate this and then go in and edit it to Alt F2. And then move it over, you know, whatever, right? But we want to delay before she rises up again. So we're going to come in, core, delay, and then say 3 seconds. So it's 1,000 milliseconds for every second. So we're going to type in 3,000. and we're going to say okay. And then we can do our third keyboard press with Alt F3 or whatever your keys are. All right. So this is going to control the movement of her falling, getting situated, and rising back up. However many keyboard presses, how many hotkeys you have set up for that. You know, that is on you. I don't know. But this is how you would set that up, right? But when we also want to trigger things to happen at the same time. So, for example, we want the boulder to come down from the top, right? So we need to turn the visibility of that boulder movie on. So that's going to be in OBS. So again, we're going to right click, OBS, sources, set source visibility state. Well, that's the thing. Once we have this set up, you don't press anything at all. You don't have to press a single thing. Right? Okay. So now we're gonna turn the visibility of the boulders on. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do that. You're gonna come in here to your scene, whatever scene you select is whatever scene you have your boulder video on. The source is the boulder video itself, and you're gonna set it to visible. Okay. And then so this is gonna come on before she falls. So we just drag that to the top because we know the first Alt F1 is what moves her like she's falling off the screen, right? So we need the boulder to come visible and drop, play its sound and all of that. And then we're going to press and drop her off. Hush your mouth. Okay. Does that make sense so far? And then we've added like that flash bang, right? So again, it's going to be another visibility source because you have that color source in OBS. So you're going to do the same thing. We can just duplicate this, but this one's going to be your color source, you know, whatever it is. And you're going to turn this one visible. And you're going to just have to time it between probably these two actions because we want to see the boulder come and blow up and do all this falling, right? And we want her to fall off the screen. And so just top to bottom in this source area here. So hold on. So this works top to bottom, right? It's okay. So whatever is first on the list is the first thing that's going to happen. And then the second thing is going to happen. Third thing is going to happen from top to bottom. Okay. So you just have to realize and picture it like in your head, what do we need to happen? So when somebody does the redeem, the first thing that has to happen, obviously, is your boulders have to show up. Okay. And so that's where we're going to turn the visibility of the video on. And then our girl needs to fall over. So that's the first VTube Studio key press, hotkey, right? And then we're going to have the flash come on because you know how we talked about the video kind of cuts off abruptly. So we're going to have a little delay. So we're going to add another little delay, and we'll just set this to like 500,000 or 500. I mean 500,000, 500, which is like half a second. And we're going to put that below our girl falling over and before the flash. Does that make sense? So then we have our flash made visible, and then we need to turn that off right away. So we're going to duplicate this for the flash, move it directly below, and set the visibility to hidden. So it on, off, right? But if we leave it without a delay between these two now, it's going to go on, off, and you're not even going to get to see the flash. So we need another delay, and we can do this one for like half a second. And we'll put it between these two. So now the flash will come on, and then the flash will go off. And then we can have our girl sit up straight, move over, and then wait 3 seconds, and then she rises back up. And then once you have all of this set, you're going to test it. Okay. And to test it, you need a trigger. So we're going to come into our trigger. We're just going to go core. We're going to go commands and command trigger. And you're just going to create a command. Okay. So when we click on create a command, it's going to bring you here. Give it a name. The name up here is just going to be a test, right? Because we're going to delete this. And then your command in the box here is going to be whatever you want. So we're just going to do test again, exclamation point test. Uncheck these boxes here. Make sure you're on Twitch. Okay. And then we're going to say okay. And then we're going to say okay again. And now we have a test trigger.
Oh! Oh, hello.
I look gorgeous, thanks. I know. My mama said I was handsome. So now, when you do exclamation point test in your Twitch chat, it will run all of these. And you get to watch it in OBS and watch it happen. Right? That I don't know. At some point, Ubisoft connects to your Twitch account. You can go into Twitch and disconnect it. In the dashboard under connections, where that security thing was we saw before, there's a one called connections. Click on that, and Ubisoft is in there. You can click on disconnect. Okay. But so you do the test and you watch it, and you're like, oh my God, she falls way too fast. Like the boulder shows up and she's already off screen. So you know you need to add a delay. Or when the flash comes on, maybe the video is already over, right? So you need to lower the delay, right? No, we don't touch the beard. So you just keep testing it and keep adjusting these little delays and these timings until it looks how you want it to look. And then once you're done with that and the testing looks good, you can delete this trigger. We just go in and delete it. And then you add one for the channel point. So you're going to go to Twitch. You're going to go channel reward, reward redemption. And the same thing. You can create a reward. This is blocked out because I'm not connected to Twitch on this account, right? But when you go to channel point rewards on Twitch, you can go in and you can create one, set the cost, set the name, all of that, and that will be your trigger. And then so when somebody redeems that redeem, it will run these just like it did when you were doing exclamation point test. And that's it. That's all you got to do. So the hard part is just getting the timings down, right? Once you have all the audio, or not audio, all the things in OBS, and you have your hotkeys on VTube, it's just setting up these and getting the timings right so everything looks like it's happening when it's supposed to happen. And then it done. It's over. You will make the redeem in StreamerBot. Phil, get some good sleep, man. I know you haven't had a lot recently, so get some rest. Thank you again for the raid. I do appreciate you being here, right? Get some sleep, my friend. We will see you later. Hey, Fi, you're up. Oh, he went on lurk, didn't he?
Toasty!
Shit on nerd. Yeah. So you'll go in and create the, so if you, that way you have control over your channel points, right? You can create it on Twitch and it'll still trigger all of these actions, but you won't be able to disable it, pause it, turn it off, whatever, through StreamerBot. So if you create it in StreamerBot, StreamerBot technically controls it, and then you can have all of those extra things. You're slowly getting a hang from Twitch? Not used to it? Hey, you know, no worries. Not everybody knows everything all at the beginning, right? It all just takes time. But yeah, play around with that. Get those set up. If you have any problems, you already have your Discord thing set up, and just post it in there. You can post a screenshot of your sub actions and stuff like that, and we can take a look. Nobody does. We're not, everybody's born not knowing a single fucking thing, right? This is how we learn. Let me go to my dashboard real quick. Settings. Shut up. So, Shadow, real quick, if you do that in Twitch, if you click on here and go to this settings down here, not any of these, you'll come to this page, and then the connections tab. If you click on that, all of your connections will be here. Amazon, Steam, YouTube, Ubisoft is here, and you can just click right here to disconnect Ubisoft. Okay, easy. Nice. All right, it is about that time. So I think we're gonna go for the day. I appreciate everybody being here. I really do. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the questions. If you still have further problems with the questions you've already asked, that's what the Discord is for. If you don't want to wait till next Saturday and you have other questions, that's what the Discord is for. Make sure you join up in the Discord. There you go. Right there's the link, invite link for you if you're not already a member. Come in, react to the rules, open up the whole server for you. We have a whole section dedicated to streaming help. All right, come on in, ask away, get to know everybody. Everybody in there is really nice. It's a really good community. But I'm gonna go to the raid out screen. So those of you that are with me on Twitch, hang out, because we are gonna raid. Those of you on YouTube, I don't have anybody live that I can actually continue on with, so we're just going to end it there. But we're going to go do that. So hang on. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. YouTube, you guys are amazing. We love you. There will be more integrations with StreamerBot and YouTube as the API from YouTube catches up, right? It's YouTube's fault. I blame YouTube. Always blame YouTube. Just kidding. It's not always their fault, but their API is so limited. So we have to do a lot of workarounds to get everything to work right. But there are ways to do it, and we're figuring out more and more as we go along. All right. But I do appreciate you YouTube guys being here. Thank you so very, very much. Again, we'll see you next Saturday. New tutorials will be posted at sometime this week. I'm trying to get back on the Wednesday, Saturday schedule, but I can't promise that right now because of my work schedule being all fucked. No, because it doesn't connect. It doesn't connect, and I haven't done the workaround yet. It hasn't been a big priority because I only stream on YouTube 1 day a week. But we'll get there. I'm gonna get there. I have it on my to-do list. I'm only one man. I got a lot. There's a lot on my list. Well, we're getting you guys. We'll get you added. All right. But again, thank you guys for being here on YouTube. I do really do appreciate it. And we will see you next week. We'll see you in the Discord. And if you want to come hang out on Twitch, you know, we're going to be there. We'd love to have you. I'll be there tonight here, probably about 3 hours or so. We're going to play probably some spooky game or something like that. But come by and check us out. If not, We'll see you in the YouTubes. We'll see you on the videos. And we'll see you next Saturday. But thank you guys. Love, peace.